All right, let's just jump right into it. Today we're talking about something that affects, well, pretty much everyone. Breaking free from those habits that hold us back. We're going to try to unlock the code that's running our lives on autopilot.
I mean, you know the feeling, right? It's that crazy frustration where you know you want to change something. Maybe it's scrolling on your phone late at night, or hitting the snooze button one too many times, but you just keep falling back into the same old pattern. It feels like you're stuck in a loop you can't escape.
Okay, and here is the first and maybe the biggest myth we need to bust right now. If you've been beating yourself up thinking you just don't have enough willpower, you've been using the completely wrong tool for the job. This isn't a personal failure. It's not about willpower at all.
So let's talk about this, the willpower myth. We're taught to think of willpower as some kind of heroic muscle we can just flex harder. But the truth is, it's a lot more like the battery on your phone. And man, does it train fast. And here's the science behind it, which is actually fascinating. You've got this part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex. It's the smart, logical part that makes good decisions. It's basically willpower headquarters. But the second you get stressed, or tired, or hungry, it's the very first part of your brain to go offline. And that's exactly when the bad habits show up. It's almost like the system is designed to fail us when we need it most.
So if we can't rely on willpower, what are we actually dealing with here? Well, what you're really up against is your brain's autopilot. These are the powerful subconscious programs that are running in the background of your life 24/7.
And this is exactly how those programs get written. Every single habit, good or bad, is built on this simple, powerful loop. It all starts with a trigger. Maybe you feel bored or anxious. That leads to a behavior. You pick up your phone and start scrolling. And that gives you a reward, a little burst of a chemical called dopamine that tells your brain, hey, that was good, remember this and do it again. Trigger, behavior, reward. That's the engine of every habit you have.
And this is what happens over time. You run that loop again and again and again until the habit isn't just a choice anymore. It becomes a program that's memorized by your body. Your body literally takes over, and it can run that program faster than your conscious mind can even say, wait, no, don't do that.
And this isn't just some nice saying, it's real neuroscience. Every time you repeat an action, the brain cells involved are firing a signal to each other. Do it enough, and they build a super strong, insulated connection. They wire themselves together, creating a well-worn path in your brain that becomes your automatic go-to. So how do we start building a new path?
Well, this brings us to our very first key, and it's probably not what you expect. Instead of fighting your urges or trying to resist them, the first step is actually to lean in, to get really, really curious about the experience itself.
This story is the perfect example. In a study, they asked smokers to just pay attention while they smoked. No judgment, just pure curiosity. And one person had this incredible aha moment. She knew smoking was bad for her. That's just knowledge. But when she truly paid attention, she felt it. She realized, wow, this tastes awful. She went from knowing to knowing, It became wisdom.
And that's what mindful curiosity is all about. It's about being an investigator of your own habits. When you pay close attention, you give your brain new, updated information. You might find that the extra piece of cake doesn't make you feel good. It actually makes you feel sluggish. That scrolling doesn't relieve boredom, it makes you more anxious. Your brain sees this and says, wait a minute, the reward here isn't what I thought it was. And suddenly, that old habit becomes a lot less appealing. All right, so once we've started to downgrade the value of the old habit, we need to build the new one. And that brings us to our second key, rehearse your future. This is about using the most powerful tool you have, your own mind, to literally build the brain circuits you're going to need for the life you want.
Now, this might sound a little out there, but it's based on a solid principle of neuroscience. When you close your eyes and mentally rehearse an action, and you do it with focus and feeling, your brain starts to change as if you were actually doing it. It literally doesn't know the difference. You're installing the new software before you even run the program.
And the proof for this is just amazing. Check out this piano study. They had one group physically practice piano exercises, and yeah, the part of their brain for finger movement grew. No surprise. But then they had a second group that only imagined practicing. They never touched a piano. And guess what happened? The exact same circuits in their brain grew. Just by thinking about it, they were priming their brain and body to be a piano player. That's powerful.
So we've used curiosity to devalue the old habit, and we've used mental rehearsal to start building the new one. The third and final key is where we get super practical. It's about redesigning your environment to make change the easiest possible option.
Look, it's pretty simple to break a bad habit. You just flick the rules on their head. Instead of the trigger being obvious, you make it invisible. Hide the cookies on the top shelf, or better yet, don't buy them. Next, you make it unattractive. Remind yourself how you'll feel after you do it. Third, you make it difficult. Leave your phone in another room when you're working. And finally, you make it unsatisfying. Create some kind of immediate cause for doing it.
You know, at the end of the day, all these strategies require one thing: a decision. It's that moment where you decide to take responsibility. It doesn't have to be some huge, dramatic thing. It's just about deciding to take that first, small step, to accept the discomfort that comes with change and start moving forward anyway.
And that brings us to maybe the most important idea of all. It's so easy to fuse our identity with our actions. But you have to remember, you are not your habits. They're just old programs running on old hardware, and you absolutely have the power to rewrite them.
So here it is, your new toolkit, all boiled down. First, awareness. Get curious, become an investigator of your own mind. Second, preparation. Mentally rehearse who you want to be, over and over, until your brain believes it. And third, action. Redesign your world so that the right choice is the easy choice. So if you take away one thing, let it be this. If you've struggled to change, it has nothing to do with you being weak or lazy or broken. It was never about that. You were just fighting a battle with the wrong tools. You were trying to use willpower when what you really needed was a smarter strategy.
But now you have the right tools. You have the strategy. So the only question left is, what new story, what new version of yourself are you going to start rehearsing today?